Why hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today I have with me a car that I never even thought possible that I was going to be able to have an opportunity to drive. However, today I'm at my friend Chris's house, who has very graciously offered to let me drive 3, possibly even 4 very spectacular vehicles today. The first of which is his wife's beautiful AMG GTC coupe, which is absolutely just insane. This car features 550 horsepower, 504 newton meters of torque, and a 3.2 0 to 60. It also has a beautiful matte blue finish on the outside with these gorgeous Michelin Pilot Sport wrapped matte black with a silver outline wheel with the AMG carbon ceramic composite brake calipers on the outside. And this thing is an absolute monster. So we have a convertible top. I may have said coupe, it's a convertible. It could be referred to as a spider in certain lights. And this thing is an absolute freaking dream. As an AMG, this features a hand-built AMG engine, which, you know, that's kind of AMG's thing, is that they hand-build their engines. You get a dude that signs the engine after he's finished completing it, and you also, I don't know. This thing is going to be an absolute freaking dream to drive. I haven't driven something this fast since I drove that tuned Porsche 911, which was a 2017 model with some crazy Stage 1 tuned action going on there. So I am very excited. This thing sounds like an absolute freaking behemoth whenever it turns on with that 4-liter twin turbocharged V8. I am really just too excited. I can't stop shaking, so I think we should just take this thing out on a quick spin. However, before we did take this thing out on a quick spin, I did want to mention the back end of this car does feature an active aero spoiler, which pops up and down, and you actually have a pretty decent sized trunk back here. Let's make sure that there is a button, and let's see how this goes. A lot of times people, when they buy one of these, they want to make sure that you can go golfing in it, so if you can fit a person, let's see, it's a little tight, but it works. Yeah, I mean, this trunk, this is not a car that you buy for the purpose of having a lot of storage. However, if you wanted to take a weekend, you could probably fit about a carry-on and a half in the back of this thing, which is really not bad. You also have a nice subwoofer here in the back of the vehicle. This car does feature the beautiful Burmeister audio system, so you know that the stereo is going to be sounding tight. But if you wanted to take a little weekend vacation in your AMG GTC convertible, it's really not bad, and you don't lose any additional space for putting the top up and down, as it just sits right in this little cradle here. I do assume that the coupe is going to have slightly more space than the convertible, but like, in the grand scheme of things, who really cares? All right, so inside of this gorgeous convertible, we actually have carbon fiber all over the doors. You've got these beautiful quilted leather on all of the surfaces. One of my biggest gripes about expensive cars, and this one being about $150,000 whenever it was new, it should have leather everywhere, and this car passes the test. You've got these really nice looking, the climate control inside of here looks great. You've got the carbon fiber trim on all of the different features, and whenever you turn the car on, sounds phenomenal. Also, a lot of Porsches and stuff like that, on the steering wheel here, you've got access directly to your traction control. You have access to a camera, so you can check the different cameras that this car has on the outside of it. You've got the ability to do the top-down parking view. You've also got front and side cameras, front and back cameras as well. If you want to deactivate traction control, you can do that very quickly, and whenever you want to switch between the different drive modes, throw it into Sport Plus, that opens up your exhaust valves, and you have a ton of really cool individually customizable things here. So you've got your transmission settings, you have your suspension settings, you have your overall encompassing drive mode, you have your auto start stop, and you have your volume control here. You can also very quickly activate raise and lower your wing there, and switch between manual and automatic modes for your transmission if you want it to shift for you or if you want to shift without it. This car features a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which means that it kind of has like a robot driven manual, so it just shifts very quickly. You've got 2 clutches shifting between a series of different gears. Very cool technology. You've got heated, ventilated, and neck warmers on the outside of the car. Additionally, everything that you can do on the steering wheel you can pretty much do over here. And you can actually deactivate your parking buttons. Pretty much the interior controls are very, very easy to use, and this has little touchpad, which you can use to switch between all of the different interior stuff. In order to get the best exhaust experience though, we are gonna put the top down, and I'm gonna count and see how long this actually is gonna take to put the top down. So in order to put the top down on this car, it's just up on the top of the thing. You just press down on it, puts your windows down for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll call that 11 seconds because it was probably about 2 seconds prior to me, you know, pressing the button to it would actually start moving the top down. The seat belt is conveniently located on the top of the beautiful, very comfortable leather seats. There's a ton of customization on the side of these. You can very quickly adjust the side bolsters to make them a little bit more engaging, and then you can actually pivot and tilt them and do all of the kind of things that you'd want to make sure that you're setting in this car very, very comfortably. Paddle shifters pass the test. They're tactile and they feel like they're in the right spot, and I prefer that they are actually mounted directly to the steering wheel as well, so you can find them a little bit better. People like it whenever they're mounted to the column. However, I really like it when they're on the steering wheel, in my personal opinion. And I like it because I think that that actually seems to be the popular opinion, of auto manufacturers, that having them directly mounted on the steering wheel is a little bit nicer. That is completely blowing out my camera, so we're just gonna put the windows down slightly, and we're going to keep the top up, as I think that that's gonna, it's gonna make the camera look a lot better. My camera's having a really hard time focusing doing that. The top is ripping fast though, going up and down. All right. So we got this thing in Sport Plus, 3.6 seconds 0 to 60, and I got a little bit of a canyon ride going through this neighborhood. We're on a bumpy road though, and honestly, the suspension is not bad. You know, it is a little bit tough, but I mean, this is a track-focused freaking convertible, so the long hood is a little bit disconcerting, so trying to see where you're going and doing things is a little bit challenging, and I think my seating position is actually really nice in this car. I'm 5'8", so I typically find it is a little bit hard for me to get my seat directly into the right spot. In some cars, I feel like I just kind of get swallowed up, like obviously in like the Escalade and stuff like that. I feel like I just can never get my seat where I want, but this isn't an Escalade. This is a freaking AMG. God, listen to that freaking exhaust. Oh my goodness, 28 miles an hour never sounded so good. Finally out on the open road, and this thing is so crazy. That front hood being so long just really makes this thing feel like it has some presence on the road. Oh my god, you can do illegal things very quickly in this. The downshifts are so unbelievably quick. All right, we got stop signs on both sides. And the traction control is engaged, but it doesn't feel like it's like kind of slowing me down at all. The Michelin Pilot Sport tires, very good at making sure that you stay strapped in on the corners. Put these windows up just a little bit. I'm driving a freaking AMG! Ladies and gentlemen! Holy cow! Alright, let's get a little bit of space here. Alright, we're going 23 miles an hour, and I need to get a little bit of space between these guys. I want to see if the top still operates at this speed. 29 miles an hour. She's going down, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get some top-down exhaust on this business, too. All right, it was a little bit slower. Goodness gracious, this thing is so unbelievably fast. And the grunt and the burble on the freaking exhaust note. The suspension, the adaptive suspension in Sport Plus is really not bad. I'm going to put the traction control into sport mode now and see if we get any more, kind of leverage here. The shifts. AMG has to have one of the best steering wheels as well. Like this steering wheel is perfect. It's flat on the corners, flat on the bottom. Just the freaking placement of the paddle shifters is so precise. It's so perfect. They're tactile without being in the way. And the freaking speed of that transmission. Good night. I can't even hate on the fact that it's convertible because it still handles just freaking phenomenally. All right, we're gonna take a step back and chill out for a second. We're gonna drop this sucker into comfort and put the traction control back on. We're gonna see how this thing does driving grandma mode. But I don't feel like it because this thing's freaking phenomenal. Put the transmission into comfort, drive mode, moderate engine power. And then we're gonna get our seat situated a little bit more comfortably. And honestly, bumps, not bad. You could take this thing on a very, very comfortable long road trip. I would have no problem taking this thing on a long road trip whatsoever. Top down, shining, blowing your hair around in the wind. If it's cold outside, you can throw on the ventilated neck warmers and just enjoy it. You also have a race transmission mode. Frick! Somehow the transmission shifts faster in race, which I don't see how that's actually possible. However, it somehow is. Like, what the? We're also gonna be driving, so I'm gonna tease two other vehicles as this is probably gonna be the first one that I post. In this and I post in this series of really sick cars. We're gonna be driving an Acura NSX Type S, which is the new version of the Acura NSX. My same friend who was letting me drive this car is previously had a 2017 Acura that I got to drive when I was 18 years old before I had this YouTube channel. And now he has the Type S. Like 60 miles an hour just comes. Like, it's just there. 3.6 seconds is like, it's the perfect amount because you're not stuck, you know, just kind of existing in speed. It's just freaking perfect. Like, I don't even mind that this thing is a convertible, like I was saying. Like, the fact that it's convertible and I can let my golden locks shine in the sun just absolutely freaking blows me away. GTC coupe. You also have lane departure equipment on this car, so it can hold you inside your lane on the highway, do your adaptive cruise control, which can make it very, very comfortable on long road trips. So you'd have no problem at all driving this thing to Florida or taking it to the track for the weekend. However, the top being, you know, convertible is probably not going to be the best for that. And you also have this beautiful Alcantara running up the A-pillars of the car, which makes it just feel that much more premium. I'm gonna take this thing back now. Yeah, I want one of these. I don't want a Porsche anymore. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this car has some of the biggest balls that I've ever experienced on any vehicle. This thing handles phenomenally. The rear wheel steering, the grunt of the exhaust, the speed in which that transmission shifts. I've driven a BMW, I've ridden in a BMW M8 on the Indy 500 Speedway, and that car's transmission is freaking fast, but there is nothing with the personality and the characteristics of a dual clutch transmission that I have ever experienced. And like Porsche's PDK is faster, but like the punch you in the throatness between the shifts that this car has, like, goodness gracious. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys are interested, there's gonna be a video coming out with the Acura NSX Type S that will be probably next week's video. And then there's also gonna be one on a really freaking cool Bentley Continental GT. Please stay tuned for those videos. They are coming down the pipeline. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.